Chapter 4 Underwater. Elle followed Sam closely behind down the grassy slope, with a worried look darting between the snake and their house on the hill. Not only did Sam have a poisonous snake much closer than they were comfortable with, but the woods were at the base of the hills, which they didn't usually go towards without Mother and Father's supervision. Sam insisted this was
a super important mission that must be taken care of immediately.
And as far as snakes go, getting rid of Granny couldn't happen faster, so they didn't protest. Besides, what could a quick visit to the forest edge hurt? They would simply return Granny to the forest, wave goodbye, and they would slither away for good and hop back up the hill as if nothing had happened. The alternative was having a super deadly snake on the loose around their home, and Elle knew they would never get to bed that night. No, that week. No. That year if they knew that darned Granny was slithering around any corner. Yes, this was definitely the best option. Spooky woods or not, this had to be done. They approached the forest edge while Elle was still convincing themselves that what they were doing was the best option. They could hear the sound of running water as they approached the river that circled their hill and ran through the forest. Elle suddenly thought of that time they had dropped their favorite ball and chased after it. It of course rolled down the slope and went into the water. Elle was much younger at the time and hadn't learned to never enter the woods that led to beyond the hills. When they had chased after it and started to follow it down the river flowing into the forest, Mother caught sight of this and wasn't too happy. She was thankful she was able to stop them, but warned them to never enter the woods. Elle found this curious, but obeyed. The same feeling of guilt started to come back, and Elle was feeling nervous about the whole mission. The faster they returned Granny and went back home, the sooner they could feel at ease. Sam bent down, released the snake, and took a few steps back. They both waved as the snake quickly slithered off between some trees and under a nearby rock.
Bye, Granny.
It was very apparent it had been thoroughly terrified by the whole adventure, maybe even more so than Elle. Sam looked at Elle with a smile and giggled, when suddenly, her eyes widened. In a fit of vengeance, or perhaps not feeling entirely safe even after hiding, the snake had doubled back and caught them in their moment of celebration. It was headed towards them with such speed, there was no way to avoid it. Sam readied her sword and put her arm in front of Elle. She could tell Elle was already setting into panic mode. But there was no time to comfort them. Sam was ready to attack as it headed straight for her. But at the last moment, it made a change in movement. It lunged itself straight at Elle. Sam had but a moment to think. Then, a splash. Sam lost sight of Elle. One moment they were here, the next, they were gone. Her thoughts a blur. She did everything she could to protect Elle, but they were nowhere to be seen. Where could... And suddenly she realized Elle had been caught in action and fell into the river. The river that flowed into the forest and beyond the hills. She called out for Elle, but they were nowhere to be seen. She felt so helpless. She felt like she had let Elle down. Thank you so much for watching my story. I hope you are enjoying it so far. I just wanted to give a huge thank you to Waffles for doing all of the character voices. Roll the clip.
Make sure you subscribe to Drawing with Waffles at youtube.com/Drawing with Waffles. That's DrawingWiffles. Thank you.